The number one question that people ask when it comes to traveling in India: is India safe? Are you ready? Are you ready for the answer? I am going to give you my answer, which is based on my personal experience of traveling in India solo for 9 months. Before we dive in, let's make sure you subscribe to my channel. I share my passion for India here, my travel experience in India, and I'm planning to make more videos like this in the nearest future. Alright, is it safe to travel in India as a woman solo? Is it? Is it? Yes! Yes, it is. There was not a single time when I would feel unsafe in India in the 9 months. Let me break it down for you. I traveled to the north, I traveled to the south, I've been in the mountains, I've been to the beaches, I've been to touristy spots, and I traveled to remote villages and towns where there was not a single other foreigner. I would travel long distance by night trains, I would travel by local buses, I would arrive in a new place in the evening and I would look for a place to stay on the spot instead of booking ahead.
I don't have anything booked.
I would ask strangers for help and I would receive it. I would get a lift from strangers and I would do all of that by myself. I would be alone in all of these situations and I would feel totally safe in all of them. Our opinions and beliefs are based on a bullshit that media shows us. I don't want to blame it all on media, but it plays a big role in what we think and how we view certain things. You will not hear in the news how kind and generous Indian people are. You will not hear about how tourist friendly the country is. All the information in the news are negative. Why? Because positive doesn't sell. And we base the whole concept of a country on only one, the negative side of it. When I first arrived in India, I wasn't free from that bullshit in my head. I wasn't free from fears, worries, and prejudice. Even though I knew a lot about India at that time, as I studied about India for 5 years, and all I ever wanted was to finally go there, and deep in my heart I knew I would be fine, I knew I would love it. Still, I wasn't free from all that shit. You just can't get away from it. It ingrains in your subconscious mind very deeply. And I still remember when I was walking through a park in New Delhi on my first day with my Polish friend and I asked her, "Aren't you scared of walking here?"
This park was one of the very first things I saw when I arrived in India, my first day in Delhi, and it scared the shit out of me.
And you have no idea how silly this question, this idea seems to me right now when I think about it. India is so safe for travel, I can't tell you. Let my experiences and my vlogs speak for it. Obviously, shit happens everywhere, in any place in the world. Bad things happen. You need to be careful anywhere in the world when you travel, especially as a woman. Use your intuition, use your common sense, stay conscious of your surroundings, just basic precautions, and you will be fine and you will love India, I promise. Or do I? Okay, so practically, on the practical side of it, how does it look? Oh my god! On the streets, you are safe. As long as there are people around, you are so safe. The more people, the safer you are. Unless it's a crazy crowd on some festival or other mass event. Note that it gets dark in India by 7 p.m. across the whole country and through the whole year, and obviously the life goes on. The life goes on until, well, 10 p.m. depending on where you are and other circumstances. You will get so stared at. Prepare, get ready, especially if you're fair-skinned and you have light hair. People don't have any bad intentions when they look at you. Both women and men stare, no matter if it's on the street or in a shopping mall, people stare. Just remember that they're only curious. Smile and proceed. Transportation. To get around in the cities, I used auto rickshaws or Uber, and never had I ever any unpleasant incidents with dishonest drivers. I was never...
No, you just take me where I ask.
Okay.
Nowhere else.
Okay, no problem.
I was never driven somewhere where I didn't want to go, and even in the night when I needed to catch a flight in the early morning or whatever, I never had any unpleasant experience. When it comes to traveling alone on long distance, whether it was a night train or a day train, whether it was a lower class or higher class, whether it was 10 hours or 40 hours, whether it was a local bus or a private bus, I have never felt unsafe or had any bad experience. On the contrary, I would only experience positive vibes from people. They were so kind. People would treat me with food, they would ask me questions, and I would only have positive experience while traveling. India is very tourist friendly, and it's not only thanks to international tourists, but I would say more to the domestic tourists. Indian people travel within their country, and trust me, they could feel like they're in a different country when they travel from one part of India to another, because India is so diverse. It's easy to get around when you go to touristy places. You will easily find your way to the area where there are guest house, hotels and restaurants, etc. People are so sweet and kind, and their hospitality is beyond your imagination. There is a Sanskrit saying Atithi Deva Bhava, which means a guest is like God, and Indian people live up to its meaning. And by the way, we have just the same saying in Polish, Gość w dom, Bóg w dom, meaning a guest in the house, God in the house. Now, as much as I love India, and though, like I said, I never felt unsafe in 9 months, I have had some experience that I would consider unpleasant. And I don't want to go into details here because I want to make a separate video about it, but I wouldn't be honest with you if I didn't mention it here and now in the video. Is India safe? Especially for women. So let me just spit it out. What I experienced, I would call it breast grabbing in public. And though not nice at all, it wasn't, the situations weren't dangerous, as offenders were gone within seconds. It happened 3 times in 9 months. It is all due to the cultural differences and all the taboo around sexuality in India. But like I said, I want to make a separate video about it, explaining more in details, so I just wanted to mention it here. Alright, back to the positive. My Polish friend once said, the only right way to travel in India is to travel alone. And I can tell you that I enjoyed being alone in India more than anything.
I'm going to spend 2 days in a solitude. I'm so happy.
Even when at times I had some company, I couldn't wait to get away to continue my experience solo. Overall, India is safe to travel. Safe to travel solo as a woman. I am an example. I love this country. It's incredible. It's crazy. It is so challenging. Yes, it is. But you definitely should go if that's what you want. And enjoy. Enjoy the ride. It's gonna be a fun one.